Submit a critical essay on the story of Aaron Swartz. It was 400, 800 for the online version, but today, for this particular class, especially if we're going to have a debate about it, I can't have you guys write 400 words. I need 600, at least 600. If you want to do more, let's just cap it at 600 words. Did I say 700 or 6? I said 6, right? 600 words, let's cap it at 6, so that everybody has something to talk about in the actual debate. So 600 words is still a substantial amount. There's a lot can be said in 600 words. But this is a question I'm going to ask you and that I'm expecting you to answer, okay? Submit a critical essay on the story of Aaron Swartz. Discuss whether his illegal actions were justified, assuming that his intent was to do good. So you can't assume, yeah, he was a bad person, and that's why he did all those bad things. So it wasn't justified. It's a simple answer. Like if his intention was bad from the get-go, then you don't care, or you don't worry about whether his illegal actions would be justified. You can't justify it. Like he had bad intentions and he broke the law. So no, that's the classic definition of a bad thing. We don't want that. But somebody can do something that's illegal but have good intentions. It happens all the time. And some people go to the extreme as to cause millions and millions of dollars in damages. So just to kind of digress a little bit, let's not talk about Aaron Swartz. There's a bunch of people who are fighting for something that they really believe in. And sometimes they'll do something that's called vandalism to the company that's facing it. But it will be activism and heroic activism for the person who's doing it. And the example would be, it's very similar to the Aaron Swartz example, is there's something called the Keystone Pipeline in the US, and they're sending oil, petrol, gas for your car. And the pipeline is very important because you don't want to chop off the flow. You want constantly oil flowing through the pipeline. Somebody who has an issue in terms of environmental aspects, like you can't continue to drill holes and install pipelines, because the more you do this, you're destroying the environment. You're actually messing up the water, so people can't drink clean water. So nobody likes that. So a guy comes in and clips off the chains on the gate, and he just closed the lever. That's all he did. He locked it, but he was facing 3 years or 2 years in prison for doing that. Why? Because the company's gonna say, you've cost us millions or whatever amount of dollars by you forcing entry when you didn't have permission, and then locking the pipe so that there's no flow. And we had to send somebody to fix it. It was a big deal. A lot of people didn't get their money or their shares or whatever, and now it's all on us. You've caused a lot of trouble for us, and we can't let that happen. So from a company's perspective, they have every reason to say that, because they're losing money if they let just random people come in willy-nilly and start shutting down the pipes. But at the same time, the people who are doing that are doing it for a reason, knowing that it's illegal. Same thing with Aaron Swartz.
Yeah, but like if they don't do anything about it, then everybody is just gonna go into the back and
That's what happens. This is the dilemma that you guys have to think about. So even if you agree with the fact that there's something wrong, asking you to commit a felony, like break the law and face consequences, potentially jail time for that, not a lot of people are gonna say yes. Does that make sense? Even if you realize, okay, that's not cool, we shouldn't be doing that, somebody should speak up. Who's it gonna speak up? Who's it gonna be? And it maybe involves you facing jail time in the process. Are you willing to do that? Most people are gonna say, I don't know. So you really gotta want it. It's gotta be way above everybody else. You really, really gotta want this and do it anyways, knowing that it might result in you going to prison. So something to think about. So what is the intent behind Aaron Swartz? Why did he do that?